the one, the only, Ben Sion. Good morning and welcome to Yeshiva YouTube, Iyun and Sion. Today we're doing Shekalim, Perek Zayin, Mishnayos Hey and Vav. I want to talk today at Mishnah Vav, really also Mishnah Hey. There's a concept that when you bring a korban, you have to bring the sachem with it. Whatever different types of korban, there's different types of flour. You have to bring a korban mincha usually with it, some oil to mix in with the flour, and also wine libations which you pour on the mizbeach. That accompany most korbanos. You have to do that. Now, what happens if you have the korban, but you don't have the nesachem? For example, there's a couple different examples. I mentioned yesterday, if someone finds an animal in the outskirts of Yerushalayim, you have to bring it as a korban. But they didn't want to bring the sachem; they had to pay out of their own pocket. So Beis Din was masakin after a while to pay from the Trumas Halishka of the tzibur. They would pay for the nesachem. Also, in Mishnah Vav, it talks about a case where a non-Jew sends a korban. He's allowed to send a korban if he sends libations with it, the accompanying libations. So we use his money. If he doesn't send libations, we go ahead and we bring the korban and we pay the Trumas Halishka for his korban. Now, the fact that korbanos need nesachem, right, is integral to the korban. You could discuss whether that's ma'akev b'di'evet, right? If you bring a korban without the nesachim, is it a good korban or not? Probably it is a good korban. It's probably only a din l'chatchila. But I want to analyze something else. Is that the nesachim, is that an obligation of the person bringing the korban? Or is it a din in the korban itself, that the korban has to roll in the nesachim? For example, over here where the non-Jew, he sends the animal, he doesn't send the nesachim, right? So One explanation is the nesachim has to be brought by the owners, and normally, if it's not brought by the owners, it's brought mishal tzibur, which is basically the funds of all Klal Yisrael. So in a sense, he's included in Klal Yisrael, so he's also bringing it. But the case here is a nachri, a non-Jew, and the nachri has no chiyuv of machzah shekel, so he's not included in Shumas Halishka, where the rest of these nesachim are coming from. So you see clearly from the fact that Beis Din goes ahead and provides the necessary nesachim for his korban, even though he's not part of the korban, shows very clearly that the chiyuv of nesachim is not a chiyuv upon the person who is bringing the korban. The korban is one chiyuv, the nesachim is another chiyuv. Obviously, the korban has to be brought from somebody, but the nesachim is not attached to the korban itself, and therefore it does not have to be brought from the act. We see clearly the fact that using Shumas Halishka, where the nachri has no part in that, for the nesachim shows that the korban does not need the nesachim to come from the owner. The other cases that the Mishnah is talking about, when it comes to mishal tzibur, all of Klal Yisrael is a part of the tzibur. So you can't bring a raya from those other cases, because you could say that when you bring mishal tzibur, he's also part of the tzibur, so it's like he brought the nesachim. Here you can't say that. Here you can't say by a nachri. So therefore it shows clearly that the chiyuv of nesachim is a separate chiyuv, not related necessarily to the person who's bringing the korban. Ideally, it's supposed to be bought from him. He's supposed to pay for it, but it's not attached to the korban. The korban is one chiyuv, the nesachim is another chiyuv. That's what I'd like to show from this Mishnah. Hope you enjoyed today's share. See you on the next one.